Welcome, Maotrons! How are you guys doing? And how was your Halloween and October? How was it? I thought that in this video I would just talk about how mine went. Sorry if the camera's a little bit crooked. It's not on a tripod. I'm trying my best. My battery's also dying. Off to a great start. But I just got back from vacation a few days ago and I thought that I would actually take this time to go over my costumes that I did for Halloween. I had 2 costumes and what I did. And then also that I thought it'd be fun to kind of flip through my Inktober book. I'll go get into what this is if you don't know in a minute, but I thought I would just go through that stuff and just talk to you guys, and I hope that your Halloween and October in general was great. Mine was fantastic, full of a little bit stressful at times, but I thought that I would just get into it. So let's start. So I thought I'd start with the costumes and I'll go in order of how I wore them. I only wore 2. I mean, I do kind of costumes all the time. If you're familiar with my channel, I do a lot of body painting, cosplaying, so on and so forth. Art related things in general is what this channel is about, but primarily the body painting. So this year for actual costumes that I wore out and went places and did things, I wore 2. The first one was actually Shock from Nightmare Before Christmas, and Nick, my husband, went as Beryl, and we didn't have a Shock, sadly, or I did Lock. Did I say Shock? Now I'm confused. There's Lock, Shock, and Beryl. I went as Lock, he went as Beryl. Nobody was Shock. Don't know what I said there. Forgive me, I'm trying. Anyways, so if you did not see the video where I made the Lock, Shock, and Beryl masks, I will post that down below. I will link it down below so you can check it out if you want to. But we were inspired by those. We did wear those during the day, but when you go into Disney, you can't wear them, well, part of the day, because part of it we were at a museum. Long story. If you'd like to check out what we did that whole trip, I will be posting vlogs about them. They're not up yet, but if you want, just click the link down below. It's my secondary channel. It's called Sometimes Adventure, and it's when we go on adventure places. Anyways, but the point being, during the day we did wear the masks when we got back from that, and then we walked around and did whatever, but when we actually went into the park, which is held at California Adventure, it's Oogie Boogie's Bash, and it's the first year they're doing that, and it's amazing, but they don't let adults have masks, so we couldn't bring them in. But I wore and I don't know if I have any footage of this, I will post it if I did, but I was so excited about going to Oogie Boogie's Bash and being a DCA, and just like, I was just living my best Halloween life that day, so I'm not sure if I got any full body things of me and Nick, but my costume was a long sleeve red shirt, some red pants, and then just regular, I had Converse on, I think, and then I wore some devil horns and a devil tail, and yeah, so that's what I went as. I did my makeup with pink eyeshadow on top, purple eyeshadow on bottom, and then a blue lip because he has blue lip. And my husband went as Beryl, like I said, and he just wore a skeleton shirt and then black pants because he didn't have any skeleton pants, and we didn't want to spend like $50 on skeleton pants when he would never wear them again. That's just what he wore, so he didn't have any makeup on because he has a beard and everything, so we just kind of opted out of it. But that was it. That was the first day. I can honestly say it was amazing. We came home with 12 pounds of candy, so you can say that it was very successful. The Halloween parade was amazing, and yeah, so that was my first costume. If any of you guys have been to the Oogie Boogie Bash this year, let me know what you thought. I thought it was great. The Villain's Grove was my favorite part. Anyways, moving on to the next. Alright, so the next costume is a little bit more complicated. I definitely did get little footage of it, so I will pan down and show you guys as I'm talking. It'll be like an overlay. So I went as Astrid from How to Train Your Dragon. Specifically, I went as the one from Race to the Edge, which is, whoa, words. Specifically, I went as her from Race to the Edge, which is the TV series. So she has like a blue shirt, blah, 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 so on and so forth. This costume, I had took the whole month to make it. I literally finished it the day before we left town, which was on the 27th of October. Whoo, dog. Oh my gosh, like it was a lot. And that was on Halloween day. So I was dressed up like this from day to night. We went to Universal Studios Florida. So we went to Universal Studios Hollywood. That was the first time I've ever been there. I have gone to Universal Studios Florida, which is why I just said that. Well, that wasn't the first day though. We went actually the day before that. So the 29th we went to the party, 30th we went to Universal, then went back to Universal, but still, it was amazing. But my Astrid costume took a lot of work. So I'm gonna try and remember it from top to bottom. So I did my hair just braided to the side. I had a little headpiece that I got and I lost it, and I still have no idea where it is. And I know that I pulled it out when we got to the hotel room, and then somehow I lost it in the hotel room. But so I didn't wear that, but I did braid my hair to the side. If we're going down, then we get to the shoulder pads, and I made those. So, or not shoulder pads, but shoulder armor. I made that. So I got some kids plastic shoulder pads off Amazon. I have very petite shoulders. I actually have a very petite build in general, so it worked for me. The shoulder pads were actually kind of big, ironically, so that was actually good though. And so what they were is they were just white with like this foam all over the place, so I cut those shoulder pads off. So I primed them with gray, painted them with silver paint, and then I used oven baked clay in silver to make all those little pieces that you see on a some little studs and circles that she has on it. And so then I glued those all on with E6000 glue. I got some leather fabric, so it's faux leather fabric from Walmart, and I went ahead and cut it, and then the little circle ring in the middle is actually from Lowe's, and then I just kind of glued it all together with E6000 glue, and then I did sew wherever I felt like I needed to sew, and that's how I made that. It was the last thing I finished, so it took me literally forever because I didn't know how I was going to do it. The blue shirt that you see moving down further is just a blue, actually it's a workout tank top from Amazon, and if I can find all these things I will link them down below in case you would like to shop them yourself if you just like it, or if you want to try and become Astrid also for whatever reason. But yeah, so that was the blue tank top, so nothing special there. Then you get down to the or I guess you get to the gloves and stuff. So the straps on my arms, that was just, you know, faux leather straps that I just cut and tied on my arm. But then you get to the little armor, which is like leather armor on her cufflinks, I guess. I don't know what you call that. What did you just bloop? Yeah, my kitty cat's talking because she thinks I'm talking to her. Anyways, those I ordered off Amazon as well, and I will also link those down below, but those were fun. Then we get down to the skirt. So the underskirt is a light brown. Again, got it off Amazon. Again, I'll link it. Very basic, very simple. And then the skirt over it, the little like flaps. I don't really know what that's called, but I had to make that myself as well. Oh, and that brings me to actually the bird skulls that I forgot to mention on the shoulder pads that you probably saw and I didn't mention. I also made all of those with not air dry clay, but with oven baked clay. So I got some tan oven baked clay and then shaped it into the bird skull and then painted it with acrylic paint. And I did that for every single one you see on that costume. The skirt, it goes all the way around. It's like every other little strap that's hanging down has a bird skull, and then there's two up on those shoulder pads that I just forgot about. Those were extremely fun to make, but extremely stressful. I was just gonna buy them off Etsy and be very lazy about it because I had so much other things going on, including Inktober, which we'll get into, but I handmade all of those, and then I also handmade all the spikes that you see on it. So, oh no, it's not every other one. The skulls are on every single one, isn't it? It is. The skulls are on every single one, and then the spikes go down every other one. But anyways, I handmade all those with oven baked clay, and I used that same leather that I used on the shoulder pads. I used it for those straps and then glued it onto just a regular belt and then put it all together. And I used E6000 glue to glue all of it on. E6000 glue is amazing. I went on rides with that costume. I walked around the park. I, met people, talked to them, and they did not fall off. I rode in a car for almost 2 hours with it on. Anyway, so like that was amazing. Like it held up great. So the skirt was another part that I made, but it was really fun to make. And then if we go down, I am wearing some jeans, just ripped up jeans, and I already had them. I don't know where I got them. They're very old, but they're one of my favorites, and I wore those and didn't wear any knee pads like I should have. And then you get down to the boots, and the boots I also got off Amazon, and they were hot as hell. I did not wear socks with them that day because I knew that my feet would be dying, and they were. If it was a colder day, which it wasn't even that hot, it was like probably in the 80s, which is a little bit warmer, but not too bad, and I was dying. My feet were so hot. So yeah, and then other than that, that's really it for that costume. But it was a lot of fun. Like I said, we went to Universal, rode some rides, saw some things, and I had a blast. It was so much fun, and that was on Halloween day. We also went down to Downtown Disney afterwards, got some dinner, and it was amazing. It was such a good time. So yeah, those were my costumes for Halloween, so hopefully you guys like that. Now I'll get into my Inktober book, hopefully, if you're interested in that. I thought I would start with the costumes since I thought that'd be the thing people were more interested in, but I thought I would also talk about Inktober. But before I do that, I have to change my battery because it's dying. So Inktober. Inktober is a challenge that was set up by, why can't I think of his name all of a sudden? I have no idea why I can't think of his name. He's popular on YouTube. He has his own book. Mark Curley. Ha! I don't know why I couldn't think of his name. So Mark Curley came up with this. It's to make a single ink drawing every day in the month of October, so 31 drawings, and there is a actual prompt. So for his actual prompt, so what it is you use just ink. You use pencil sketch underneath, but then you ink over it, and you only use ink, and you follow the prompts given. So there's 31 prompts that you can follow, and I went with that. I only used black ink. I mean, I don't think the rule says only black ink, but I only sketched and used black ink on top, and I followed that prompt. So I followed what was given to me. There's like an official prompt. You can look it up any year if you ever decide you want to try it yourself. I thought it was amazingly fun and amazingly hard, and it really challenged me and made me step out of my boundaries and probably helped me become a better artist altogether. Not saying that these sketches are great. They definitely aren't. Some of them are a little questionable, but it was still really fun, and I'm excited for next year. I will probably do it next year. And if you would like to follow me along on the journey of just art in general, which means good sketches, bad sketches, full illustrations, you know, ones that I never finished, so on and so forth, I do have an art Instagram, because I literally have 3 Instagrams. So I will link all of them down below, along with the my secondary channel where I vlog and travel and stuff, because it's just different parts of me. So I do have 3 Instagrams that I'll also link down below. The first one is the one that's about this channel. It's about my body painting or anything that I post on YouTube in general. So it's mostly my YouTube Instagram. That's my first, and that's my main Instagram. It's the one that has the most followers and the one that has the most going on, I guess. The second one is my art Instagram. It's called Mao's Art. Oh, so the first one is called Ms.MaoMaoz with a period. The secondary one is called Mao's_art_dump. It's an art dump where I would literally post just whatever I feel like art related that I did, because I am an artist through and through. I don't just do body painting, I actually do a lot of sketching and a lot of DIYs and a lot of things in general, and sometimes you'll get a behind the scenes look of my DIYs that I do on YouTube, because I will post those on my main one because it has to do with YouTube, but as I'm working on them or after I'm done with them, I do post them on my art one, because that's my art Instagram and that's what I do. And that's where I post my Inktober. So all October, I posted my Inktober's every single day for 31 days. So if you would like to follow along with that next year, or if you'd just like to see what I've done or what I am going to be doing in general, behind the scenes, I guess you could say, you can follow me there. The third Instagram is my lifestyle. It's like my travel thing, so I have a lot of travel photos on there as well. So I don't know. You can follow me there too. That one's called Ms.MaoMaoz. I just can't remember if there's an underscore or not. That one I post on there a lot at some points, and then not at all, then a lot, then not at all, because it just depends on what's going on in my life, really. So yeah. Anyway, so let's get into Inktober as I described what I did. So this is the book that I used. It's a what is it called? A mixed media paper, and it actually had only a few extra pages in it, so it was almost perfect for Inktober. I just had it laying around, so I decided to use it, and I decorated it myself. By decorated, I mean I wrote Inktober on it. Foot's falling asleep because I've been sitting on my foot this whole time. Anyway, so I thought I would go through it. So this is the first page. So this is just doodles I did because I was out of town and I got new pins, and so I wanted to try them out. Sorry, I'm adjusting myself as I'm talking. And this is the first drawing. So the prompt was ring, and I thought of a fortune teller or a gypsy or something because they wear a lot of rings. And that's what I came up with for day number 1 of Inktober. Day number 2 was mindless. I originally thought of a zombie, as everyone probably does when they hear mindless, but I actually ended up drawing zombies later, but I was about to draw a zombie when I actually came up with Frankenstein. So it's a very simple drawing of Frankenstein. I hope this is all in focus. And that is what I did for day number 2. Day number 3 was actually, it was bait. And so actually I wasn't the only one who came up with this idea. I thought I was like mega original, but I wasn't. I thought of a fisherman trying to catch a mermaid. So I have a silhouette of a fisherman and then a mermaid down below. The mermaid has like a smug look on her face, like I'm not falling for that. And then there's the fisherman up there. I had to heavily reference other fisherman drawings and silhouettes and stuff. So now this is about the time when we decided that we were gonna go to Universal, and I was getting super excited of trying to do the Oleander's wand experience, and so that's why this next drawing came to be. By the way, I did get picked. I was super excited. Anyway, so the prompt was actually freeze, and so I had many different ideas, and I had many ideas like offered to me on what I should draw, and I ended up actually going with what looks like a hand of a witch casting a spell to freeze something. So they have the wand there, casting of little snowflakes. It's a very simple drawing, but I like it. Then the next one was actually build, which made me think of tools immediately. So I was gonna draw a whole bunch of tools, but I gave myself my own challenge within the challenges, or within like the words and everything, and it was to keep it October themed, so Halloween themed. So I was sticking with things like witches and wizards and things that you dress up as, so characters even you'll see later that you would see people dress up as for Halloween, or just Halloween specific things such as this next one. So like I said, I thought of tools when I thought of build, and then I thought, well, what if you're like making a pumpkin, building a pumpkin, I don't know. And so I thought of pumpkin carving tools. So even though it was build, I drew pumpkin carving tools. So you have the scoop and one of the little knives, and it's sitting on what looks like a wooden table with some seeds. if you can see that. And then I even have a pumpkin top there at the very corner. So the next one, which is day number 6, the prompt was husky. So of course, husky dog. I mean, I don't know how many people did huskies, probably everybody, I'm not sure. But I did a husky dog witch, so, or wizard or whatever. There's like a little cauldron down here, some smoke going up, and a little hat on him or her. I don't really know. That was my idea. Some people said it looks like more like a cat. I guess, yeah, I guess it kind of does. All right, so day number 8 is actually frail, which I thought of old man. That's what my thought was, oh, an old man, they're frail. Or, and I don't know why man, it could have been a woman as well, but I thought old man specifically. And so I started drawing an old man and I was like, well, that's not Halloween, like an old man. I mean, some people do go as elderly people. It's not really specific. So then I actually ended up coming up with a wizard. So apparently a lot of witches and wizards in this, which I was watching Harry Potter at the time too a lot, because I was excited about going to Oleander's, like I said. So my wizard, but it kind of starts getting a little crappy once it gets to the book and kind of fades to more not goodness, but I like it. A little frail wizard. All right, so the next one is swing. So this one is not my favorite, and again, this is one that goes by, I see a lot of people dressed up as this for Halloween, because I was trying to stick to that theme. I could not think of anything. Of course, I thought of swinging like on a swing set and all this other stuff when my husband actually said, what about swinging a baseball bat? And I was like, Harley Quinn. Immediately thought of Harley Quinn, and I was like, well, that's kind of Halloween related, but the picture itself isn't the best. So there's a lot of negative space here. We'll just ignore that. Her face is covered by her hair because I could not, for the life of me, get it right. The pose is awkward. It's very, very awkward. Her legs aren't that bad, but her arm, I don't even know. And it's not the worst thing I've ever drawn in my life, but oh my goodness, it's definitely not the best. And there's like 5 different markers that I used to ink it, and I could see all the different colors. I was having a day with that one. That one took me, I posted it, I don't think I posted that one late though. I may not have. I started posting them late as I went on vacation though. All right, so then we're on to day number 10, and I did, or in the prompt was a pattern, and so this one's actually pretty simple, but I had a lot of fun drawing the pumpkin in the middle. So as you can see, it's just a little, it's like a random pattern instead of the ones that are like perfectly aligned. It's just random with bats and ghosts and rip and little dots, and the pumpkin's right in the middle, kind of separating the pattern so it's not just the same thing over and over. And even though this was easy, it was nice and I like to do it. Anyways, the next prompt was snow, and of course, I don't know, you kind of think of Christmassy stuff when you think of snow, or at least I do. I guess I don't know. I don't live anywhere where it snows, so immediately I just think Christmas. I thought of a snowman, and then I thought of, I don't know if any of you remember, 2 years ago now, I think, for almost a Halloween, for Christmas, I did a evil snowman body paint. So I'll link that down below if you haven't seen it. But then I thought, why don't I draw that? Why don't I draw an evil snowman? That'll make it more Halloween-esque. So he has 4 arms. I did not do that in my thing, but I did reference evil snowmans, and I saw somebody had done one with like 5 arms, and I was like, ah, but I don't want to do 4. Well, it was more than 5. It was like 8 arms. But I was like, no, I'll do 4 arms, and then I'll do just like a reference of my own, like the mouth is kind of like how mine was, and give him a little background with those creepy trees. I thought it was fun. Now the next one I was super excited for, it was dragon. That was the prompt. I love dragons. If you know anything about me, I love dragons. I was actually gonna do like an epic dragon that looked like a pumpkin, but it was a dragon, and I was having an off day that day. Like, I don't remember what was happening, but I remember I was just not having a good day, and we all have those. So I just sat down and started sketching, and this is what I came up with, and I actually am quite happy about it. It's very simple, I guess, in the long run, but I made the pumpkin and I made the dragon sitting on the pumpkin, almost like it's its egg, but I made the dragon have little details on it, like the ears and the wing up there, and these little swirlies down here that kind of resemble the pumpkin. I thought that would just be kind of a cute way to incorporate it into it, and I'm actually quite happy with how it turned out. Even though I had this plan of an epic drawing, I think that sometimes it's best to just create how you feel. The next prompt was Ash, and this one is also not one of my favorites, but I've also seen people dress up as this for Halloween, or as these characters for Halloween, so I thought it was perfect. Plus I kind of gave them a Halloween vibe, as you'll see, but I thought of Ash from Pokemon. So I put Pikachu in a little cauldron down here with a little witch hat. He doesn't look like he should, and he doesn't look like he should. I don't know, they're kind of derpy. I gave him a little pumpkin hat up here, as you can see, and a trench coat and some things, so he's kind of like a vampire and it's like a witch. I don't really know. I do like it. I think it's fine, but it's just not one of my favorites, and I thought it was just kind of funny. So not only do I see people dress up as Pokemon characters, whether it be like Ash or Misty or, you know, Pikachu or Squirtle, I don't know, I just see those all the time. Plus I actually gave them like a Halloween-esque vibe, like they're dressed up for Halloween, so I thought it was was fun. Now this next one, I guess, I don't know if you consider it Halloween. The prompt was overgrown and I thought of like a haunted house and like things overgrown, but I went with the Little Prince movie, if you guys have ever seen it. Literally one of my favorite movies, I love it. And in it, the Balboa, I believe is how you say it, the Baobab trees take over his planet. And so I drew that in little stars, kind of the style that they do in the actual book, if you've ever read the book as well. But it may not be that Halloween related to me. I didn't really, I guess, think about that, except for the fact that it would be terrifying if Baobab trees were taking over your whole world. So that's kind of scary. Kind of shooting in the dark there, but you know, I tried. So this next one, I like it. No, kind of. The prompt was legend, and so of course I thought of The Legend of Zelda, so I had to draw Link, or I didn't have to, but I wanted to draw Link, and of course you see a million Links during Halloween, so I thought it was appropriate. The design it's very strange. So I actually looked up a reference photo of him standing behind, which that part isn't necessarily bad. If you just look at it, it's fine. But I didn't have anything to add to the bottom, and I was running out of time, so I just fingers in, because I was drawing on my fingers and just smudging it all over. And then I drew a background of some of the mountains in the distance and the little tower that you have to get to. And guys, so it's not, again, not the worst. I could have done better. So now we're on day 16, and I did this because, again, I was thinking about vacation coming up. The prompt was wild, and who is more wild than Lock, Shock, and Barrel? So here you go. There is Shock, Lock, Barrel. I guess I could have flipped them around, but that's the way I did. We're getting there, people, if you're still with me. This one was definitely a quick sketch. It was like late at night and I wanted it done before the next day because I had so much stuff to do. So the prompt was ornament. So of course, think of a Christmas tree, but what about a Halloween tree? So I did the tree. I have like a little rip sign just for some random detailing, but there is little ornaments hanging in the tree. Very basic, very quick, but I like it. I mean, like I said, very, very easy. That was like a don't need an outline, just go with the flow situation. This next one actually I like a lot. I don't know why I like it so much. I don't know, I just like it. But the prompt was, oh, that's what it was misfit. So because I already drew Harley, I thought let's draw the Joker, who's a bigger misfit than the Joker. So that's what I did. I made it kind of look like a card-esque, kind of, not really, and I put little fingerprints down there. There's his face, which is my favorite part. I wanted his face itself to be creepy and detailed, but then not really fade into more of his body and face, so it just kind of stops with like little lines here and there. Then of course I wrote Joker down the side, which you guys, I'm not sure if you'll be seeing this backwards or right ways, I don't even know. Then like I said, I added the fingerprints, and yeah, that's what I did for Misfit. What's the next day? Day 19. We're getting there, folks. We're getting there. The prompt was sling, so I thought of like a sling you put your arm into. I looked up sling to see what else there was. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay, so I just drew a skeleton with his arm in the sling. I remember this day I was super busy too, so it just ended up kind of funky, but not badly, because arm's really short. I don't know what that's about. I don't know why I gave him such a short arm, but I did, so there you go. It's not bad. His little arms in a sling. It's I like this portion, and then the head gets kind of weird, and the arm is just super short. I don't know why I made it so short. The other one looks okay, I guess, but who knows? Who knows what I was doing? And here is the next one, which is tread. So my husband said, hey, why don't you do like a tire tread mark on a zombie's face? So I drew a cartoon style zombie with a tire mark tread going down his face. So, you know, I thought that was an awesome prompt. Thought that was really cute. Drew a little skeleton on his shirt. There you go. Oh, we're on 21. This one is literally, I think this one might be my favorite one in the whole book, and I don't know why. The prompt was treasure. So I was going to draw a pirate with his treasure chest, or a treasure chest with like a skeleton on it or something, when I ended up coming up with the idea of a treasure map. So for some reason I love this. So as you can see, little map, looks like it's sitting on a wood table, kind of like the whatever they were, the pumpkin carving tools. Put little detailing in the map, made it fold up a little bit, but still added the compass in the corner. Put a little pirate knife, and I even put little pins, like they pinned it down onto whatever, the table. And for some reason I just love that. I don't know why. Look at my face. But yeah, I think it is my favorite one in the whole thing. This one's a close second though. So the next prompt, number 22, was ghost. And if anybody knows me, which everybody that is in my immediate friend group does, I said the prompt is ghost tomorrow, and everybody was like, so you're gonna draw the Hatbox Ghost? Yup, Hatbox Ghost. I've done a lot of Hatbox Ghosts. This one is not my best Hatbox Ghost, but I love him. Like, regardless. Freaking love the Hatbox Ghost. And again, I was going to Disney. I knew it There's like wizards for Universal, and then everything else that was Disney related. That's just all that was on my brain. This one I actually really liked the pose for, the next one. So the next one was ancient. So I thought of ancient artifacts, I thought of all these different things, and then eventually I was like, what about a mummy? Because mummies are ancient. And I decided to go with an actual costume somebody would wear, because like I said, I was trying to go with Halloween, and so I was like, what about a sexy mummy costume? So I drew a girl as a sexy mummy, all wrapped up, posed in a really weird way, but for some reason I like it. This is probably one of my cleaner sketches I did, and I don't know why, but I like her pose. She's like, let's see, day number 24 that I for some reason did not write that on. The prompt was dizzy, and my husband said, what if you drew, he literally said, why don't you draw a child in a costume that's dizzy, like the cartoon style dizzy. So that's what I did. This one was also a very easy, simple sketch, but it was really fun. The glasses was my little touch. He did not say glasses. He didn't say to have a candy pail in his hand, but there it is. Oh, and the next one, it's one of those ones where I couldn't get the face right and I just gave up. But anyways, so number 25, again, that's the point of this whole challenge, is just do it. So it was number 25 and it was tasty, so I thought of a vampire drinking blood from a wine glass. So I don't mind it. And for some reason I put her way down here with nothing else up top, but there you go. Her face looks a little funky, but at least she looks a little smug. I didn't put any more detailing in her dress like I'd planned because I just got kind of frustrated. Moving on from that. So this was actually the start of my vacation. So this is day number 26. I didn't leave anywhere. This was my last day to get everything done, including all the costumes and stuff. So it was a pretty stressful day, but I was able to get this done, and the prompt was dark. So I thought of deep dark space, and I thought of just an astronaut in space, especially because we were going, if you go and watch, or if you go and subscribe to my vlog channel, you will see that we actually went to a science museum and saw a space shuttle, which I've actually already seen it, but it was fun to go see it again. So that was that prompt, and it was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun to make this one. All right, so this was actually the first day driving to our destination. So this was the first day of my vacation for this one, and the prompt was coat. And I thought of, again, going to Disney, couldn't help myself. We got ourselves Cruella de Vil. Got ourselves some Cruella de Vil in her giant coat, proudly standing there. If you are still here, thank you. So day number 28, which is actually my husband's and my anniversary. It was 7 years of dating and 2 years of marriage that day. This is the day that I was in Disneyland, going to Galaxy's Edge for the first time, riding rides. We went out to have dinner at Blue Bayou, so there was a lot going on. And this one isn't, I don't know, for some reason. So oh yeah, the prompt was ride. So I thought of the Headless Horseman because that's like a big thing in Disneyland to do the Headless Horseman, but only one arm up here. What is that? Got two down here, but then it's all smudged at the bottom. Of course he's headless, so whatever. It's not bad, but it's like really messy. Really messy. So I was like, ugh. Oh well. The next day, very simple drawing. This was the 29th, so this is when we went to a museum, and then we went to the Halloween party, and there was just a lot going on. And the prompt was injured, so I drew why is my phone keep ringing? I drew another zombie, and so I thought he was injured by losing his arm, and he didn't even notice, and then eventually does. It's like a comic book style. He's like, where's my arm? Ah. So yeah, there's that. And then the 30th, so we only have the two more. So on 30th, it was actually catch, and it's a very simple drawing. Again, why is my phone? But I did a ghost in a jar. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about that. I did a ghost in a jar. Now this is October 31st, and the prompt was ripe, and so I thought of an apple for some reason, and of course, poison apple. I actually like this one a lot. I love the hands, which I'm not good at hands, so this is good for me. And I just like the apple being the focal point. Again, I was in Disney, so this was just perfect. And that is the last one for Inktober. I, again, had a blast doing Inktober. I had a blast this Halloween season. I cannot wait to do it again next year. I don't know that I'm going to Disneyland next year, but I can't wait to do Inktober and make costumes. And I'm also happy it's over just because I was absurdly busy all month of October trying to get videos out, but it was also a lot of fun. So I had a great October, and thank you guys for being here with me, and I hope that you guys had a great October, and I hope you had a great Halloween, and I hope you have great holidays coming up. I mean, we're still gonna be making videos here, so hopefully you'll stay and we'll keep making things, or give me more ideas if you have any ideas, and hopefully we can keep having fun. So be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Ring the bell so you know next time I upload. It would help me out greatly, and yeah, I will see you guys in the next video.